Peace, what's good? How y'all doing? Today is Thursday, January 30th. I pray that this message reaches you all in the best of health, spirit, and mind. I am doing well. I just wanted to do a quick video and throw this up on YouTube just to get a few things off my chest. I woke up this morning to a continuing conversation on my Instagram page from two people that have since been blocked and removed. About Kobe Bryant and having a white wife, or like just I, I just a whole full-fledged conversation that tried to be intellectual at one point, tried to be culturally relevant at one point, and I even tried to engage this person yesterday. To get an understanding, which I often do, with people that have differing opinions than I do, or that see things differently, or, because I like to, challenge the way that I think, and also give people an open platform to express themselves. And a lot of times I go back and forth in dialogue with people because I know that other people read those comments and they can learn from those interactions. It may expand the way that they think, the way they see the world, etc., etc. So I engaged with this guy. I'm assuming it's a brother. One of those pages that don't really have any pictures of themselves, just a bunch of, I don't know. I didn't even take the time to go through it to that extent. But so I wake up this morning and I see this whole full-fledged back and forth. And then another person is saying, and this was another conversation that happened on my Facebook page too. Why are black people so emotional? Kobe Bryant didn't even like black people. And it's amazing to me how many people naturally gravitate towards negativity. This is a tragic situation. I don't care what race the people are. I don't care, and obviously Kobe is a black man with mixed race children, which, society is going to identify them black regardless. But I don't even care about that. The fact that you, as a living human being, don't know how to be quiet when people are grieving, when something tragic happens, that's just astounding to me. There's just basic core values and simple things. I don't care how you grew up. I don't care what your upbringing is. I don't care what your race is. I don't care how much money you have. There is just basic common human decency that a lot of y'all just don't have. And people could say it's based on how you were brought up, but that I don't even think that's it, because my upbringing and my family situation does not equate to having been brought up good. Life raised me. You know what I'm saying? But I just do not understand this, and I'm so thankful that I wasn't raised in an era of social media where the number one thing is to be the first person to tell the story, be the first one to come with the, with the information, so to speak. That shit is corny to me, and a lot of stuff that I'm seeing is what we used to call in Oakland game goofy. There's a lot of game goofy shit going on social media. I told you guys in another video I had a back and forth with a African spirituality based page that was just mind blowing to me. And even beyond just her coming on and about 5 hours after it was announced that Kobe had transitioned, speaking emphatically about the fact that they killed him because of some big pharma lawsuit, which from everything that I've read, it appears that Kobe Bryant was not winning that lawsuit, that it was not moving in his favor. And again, this is not a lawsuit I understand the argument, and I've even talked about all those vaccination doctors, those people who were speaking out about vaccines, holistic doctors and whatnot that were trying to speak out against big pharma, and then they died. Many of them died inexplicably. in very questionable circumstances, suicides, plane wrecks, and whatnot. Like, I get that argument. And I wrote a whole book, Black Matters, the Scientific Intervention in Our Affairs. And I've continuously talked about, you know, the elite, so to speak, in the background agenda to use science to, you know, exterminate melanated people around the world. Like, so I get that aspect. But within 24 hours to be trying to make some sort of definitive statement, like you know for a fact anything, I just, man, I don't know what is happening with human beings and the lack of ability to have human decency and the lack of ability to have compassion. I watched an interview of Rick Fox this morning, and he was saying that, you know, obviously devastated and distraught, but he was saying that his family, that it was reported that his family that he was on the helicopter. So there was like a time where I believe he was flying, that he was in the air, but that his family actually thought that he had died in that crash. Can you imagine your family? It's this thing where people disassociate celebrities from actually being human beings. And I have, you know, been critical of different celebrities at different stages in my career, life development, or whatnot. Not because they're celebrities, but because, like all of us, there's a certain level of accountability and responsibility that they have. Celebrities having more because they have a bigger following, because they have more access to more people, because people actually listen to what they have to say and follow most of what they do. But like, I don't understand why people think that celebrities are immune to suffering or to struggling, or that you are immune to still having decency and a certain level of morality when you interact with or project energy onto celebrities. Some of y'all, like, I really have been toying with this concept, and, you know, in different studies and just what I view and observe of humanity, of people that don't have souls. I just, and as some of y'all are so insistent on focusing on negativity, you naturally gravitate. It's like how, you know, when you go through something, people are naturally pessimistic or naturally optimistic or naturally see the good in people or naturally expect the worst of people. Like, some of y'all are just naturally inclined to the worst. I don't want those type of people around me. So the people who are having the interaction back and forth, I used to be like, you know, I'm going to leave my page open because I want people to feel free, even if I don't agree. But I am so sensitive about my energy right now and the type of messages that are conveyed through my platforms. Deleted and blocked. I watched a video of Umar Johnson yesterday. And please do not, y'all know I don't even say names. I see a lot of weird game goofy shit on social media from popular people, unpopular people, whatever. I don't say names. For what? You know what I'm saying? So please do not go back and tell Umar Johnson or try to make this seem like ZaZa took shots at Umar Johnson. I respect everything that brother does that is of righteousness and good, and I wish him all success in everything he does that is beneficial to the people and that is elevating the conditions of our children. Period. I watched a video of him yesterday where he was again speaking emphatically about the fact that Kobe Bryant was murdered. And it just really shocked me because I've always considered him an academic intellectual. I don't follow him on any social media pages, so I'm not really up to date with where he's at, what's happening. I don't really see a lot of his content, so I can't really, you know, make a full assessment of what's happening right now as far as his work and his career is concerned. Somebody sent me the video. I just feel so much responsibility with having a platform and people listening to what I say and knowing that I have an impact on how people's opinions and perspectives about the world and life in general. I would never, ever, 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 within such a short time frame, without having any real factual information, a cartoon that was created 10 years ago, 20 years ago, however many years ago, that was created that shows a celebrity dying in a plane. He didn't even die in the plane crash. The plane crashed and then it was bombed. I saw the cartoon. That's not factual data. That's circumstantial. That's something that would make you scratch your head and be like, okay. That's not factual data or information. The fact that Kobe Bryant was in a lawsuit about his nickname, again, not about anything that was like damaging to the system, that he was about to strike a mighty blow and wake people up and get people healthy. And the argument for Dr. Sebi, I get it. That argument makes sense. The argument about the doctors who were anti-vaccination, I get that argument. Even though Dr. Sebi's family has come forward and been specifically adamant about the fact that they do not think there was any foul play as far as somebody trying to kill him, that it was the, not directly, that it was the conditions of the jail and him not being properly cared for, etc., etc., but that they're, they don't think that that like the Illuminati and elites actually killed their loved one. Go watch The Breakfast Club of his family. But still people are saying that they killed Dr. Sebi. I don't know. When you play with people's consciousness and people's minds, and I'm not accusing anybody of that. I'm saying my own personal standards. I'm very careful with how people tell me all the time, you should have talked about that sooner. We needed you to talk about that when it was first happening. No, because I'm sitting back waiting to see how this thing plays out. I'm waiting for more information. I'm waiting to get the full story. I'm waiting to see how this is affecting people. I'm like, the weight and the responsibility of having these platforms and people actually having access to your perspective and knowing how fickle-minded and, forgive the word, but ignorant so many people are. People quote verbatim what other people said in their YouTube videos. I don't want to know what he said. I want to know what you said. What you think. People will quote other people who talk on YouTube videos verbatim. I can't even tell you how many people have come on my videos or sent me emails and whatnot. It's like, I think they killed him. Look what happened. Big Pharma. Okay, so what does that mean? Well, Big Pharma, okay, so what do you think? Why would they kill him though? Well, because he had a lawsuit. Okay, he had a lawsuit against them. They got lawsuits with a lot of people. But were they afraid that Kobe Bryant was going to win the lawsuit and they weren't going to be able to use the term Black Mamba? Like, what is the substance of the reasoning for killing him? And I'm not even saying that didn't happen. I'm saying it is way too soon for anybody to be trying to make any sort of definitive statement about what happened. What is wrong with y'all? Where are the critical thinkers? Where are the people with discernment? Where are the readers? Where are the students? People are so attention hungry. You want to be the one that made the statement, the one that let it be known. That shit is gang goofy and corny to me. And if you have a platform, whether you write blogs or have a social media page, if you got more than 500 followers, if you got 10 followers, you have a responsibility with the information that you put out into the world. Thought attracts thought. Mind attracts mind. Mind detects mind. Energy attracts energy. We are forming consciousness when we speak publicly. I don't understand it, man. I don't So irresponsible, so negligent. They said Vanessa Bryant found out that her husband died in a car crash from TMZ. Like the paramedics and the people on the scene didn't even have time to properly notify the right people so she could be properly notified with somebody coming to her door and speaking to her face to face. What kind of fucking world do we live in? Rick Fox's family thinking that he passed away. He don't even have time to, like, his friend. I just, the lack of compassion, the lack of humanity, the lack of civility, the lack of care, the lack of respect, the lack of humanity. I actually have people on my social media pages right now. Well, they're gone now. And I miss stuff because I have a lot of activity, but I'm not keeping, you're not going to promote that type of retardedness on my social media pages. But people actually arguing about the fact that Kobe Bryant had a white wife and mixed children. Tens of millions, if not hundreds of people, millions of people are mourning a very tragic death where children died. I don't give a damn what your theology is. I don't care what your religion is. I don't care if you pro-Pan-African, pro-Black, but if you don't have the human decency, even if you think like that, to know when to be quiet and to understand that there is a time and a place for everything. Kobe Bryant is working for white billionaires and he's an athlete and he should have known that he could have been so much more than that, working as a slave for the white man. Shut up. Shut up. Go take that shit on your own page. Go create your own YouTube channel. If that's your mindset and literally God is expressing itself through this man with his talent as one of the greatest athletes of all time. And I'm gonna say this and then I'm gonna stop with this, because sometimes when I'm talking, even in my mind, and this has happened to me before when I was doing a live, sometimes I'll be talking and I'll be trying to express something, but in my mind I'm feeling disheartened because I know it's like talking to the wind. The people that understand what I'm saying already understand what I'm saying. The people that I'm talking about are already mentally engraved in the depths of ignorance and hell. But I have to say this for the impressionable, people that are still trying to figure out, people that are lost, people that are still trying to discern, trying to cultivate their own minds, cultivate their own way of thinking, trying to figure out what consciousness is, trying to figure out how to discern all these personalities and opinions and noise. I'm talking to you. I've studied the Illuminati. I've written about the powers that be, and I've been to the Georgia Guidestones 2 hours from here that, basically talk about killing off a certain percentage of humanity to keep the population at a certain number. I am aware of the 13 bloodlines of the Illuminati. I am aware that I always talk about John Perkins, The Confessions of an Economic Hitman. I wrote a whole book talking about how you have an agenda to depopulate the planet. Chemtrails, genetically modified food, vaccinations. I didn't just fly off at the lip and just come on a video and just talk. I wrote a whole book. I researched this stuff. I researched for 5 to 7 years before I even felt qualified to sit down and write a book about this stuff. And with all of that said, acknowledging all of that, do you actually think that anybody will be physically taken from this planet, that any death will transpire before its time? Do we actually think that what is happening here on this planet, that the physical condition of our planet, the Illuminati, the powers that be, the elite, do you think that any of that supersedes the spiritual realm? Ask yourself that question. Whether there was foul play in Kobe's death or not, whether they are spreading famine and spreading disease and spreading death throughout Africa and the world or not, do you think that any soul has ever been physically taken from this planet before it was time? No. So there's a physical level and a physical lesson and a physical experience. And then there is a soul level and a spiritual experience. Once you start to understand the depths of the spiritual realm, you're not reacting immediately because there's a violent death or something is taking place. There's always a spiritual counterpart. All of our souls are here having an experience. Let me calm down. This type of stuff just makes me want to separate myself further and further and further and further from those type of people. And it makes me want to get closer and closer and closer and closer to spiritually minded, calm, intellectual, rational, deep thinking, less reactive, more introspective people. I don't want to be around people like that. Like, it really breaks my heart to see how many of our people in particular are so negative during such a, like, you see, I'm grieving on my social media pages. I wear my heart on my sleeve. I don't care. If I love somebody, if I connect to somebody, there's not going to be any question about who I support and who I don't support. And I don't give a shit what you have to say about it. I don't. I wear my heart on my sleeve. You know who I rock with. So you see me, whether you agree with you're in my world. You're on my page. You're following me. If you see me grieving, if you see me expressing my pain, if you see me trying to help people to understand this process and trying to spread positivity, what is wrong with you to try to get in the way of that? I don't care what you think. I don't care what you feel. I put up a post on Instagram and Facebook yesterday where I was basically saying it's beautiful to see girl dad trending. It's beautiful to see so many fathers publicly acknowledging that they're proud to be fathers and that they're proud of their connection with their daughters and that I'm honoring this. I'm valuing this. I'm saying, yes, we need more of this. And an argument breaks out about there's plenty of dads out here that love their daughters. What are you talking about? If you're one of those people that go in the midst of conversations that are meant to be positive and that are meant to be good and always being contrary and always kicking up dust, please leave me. Please unfollow me. Please block me. Please remove yourself from my world. I don't want to be a part of that. I don't care what race you are. I don't care what your theology is. I don't care what your intention is. I don't want that energy around me. My son follows my social media pages. I will never publicly identify him to any of you, but my son, and I know for a fact that I have 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19-year-olds that follow my channels. I have a responsibility to them. I want them to look at the brighter side of life. I want them to learn how to look for the best in humanity. I want to teach them and help them to expect the best, exposed to always opposed to always looking for the negative in other people. I want the young people that follow me to aspire to be on the love frequency. If you follow me and that's not in alignment with what you think or how you see the world, please remove yourself, because eventually it's going to come out anyway. I don't understand how people could follow me that don't like me. And when stuff like this happens and I say, well, wait a minute, hold on, let's be, and I say something that's rational and clear-minded, and then they respond and say, yeah, you fake anyway, you a scam artist, that's why you this and you that. Somebody came on a video that I put up of TD Jakes and said, yeah, she changed her name because she's hiding anyway. Why are you promoting TD Jakes? He's a this pastor and he's this and he's that. Because TD Jakes just dropped some jewels. And I don't know what TD Jakes is doing. Like I get the whole argument about pastors who have so much money who aren't helping the flock. I'm not a part of his flock. I don't know what he's doing. But I know right now this message just sent us a rejuvenating frequency through my spirit. I bear witness to truth. And because I've been put up on that cross by the same people that talk shit about him, I'm a little bit more weary about crossing people and canceling people out because of what you think or because of what somebody said. And TD Jakes has his own cross to bear, just like Oprah, just like all of the rest of them. That's why I'm very careful. I don't even talk about a lot of that stuff anymore, because the same people that talk shit about them are on somebody else's platform, somebody else's channel, talking shit about me. And I don't know any of them personally. I want a divorce. I don't love you anymore. Those people who think like that, who naturally gravitate towards the negative, it's always a conspiracy. If you're looking for suffering, if you're looking for injustice, if you're looking for the boogeyman, he's always going to show up because you're looking for him. You are the one that actually has the power in the equation, and you don't even know it. ZaZaAli.com is my website. Love, compassion, positive energy, good expectations, assuming good, wanting good, being able to appreciate other people in their struggle, in their grieving, being able to be a human being, regardless to whom or what, in times of difficulty, in times of strife. And I want to be clear, because I've studied the conspiracy theorists and I've written about conspiracy theories and I've exposed conspiracy theories. There is a spiritual element that is above all of this shit. There is a spiritual element and a spiritual soul consciousness that has more power, more interference, more relevance than anything that's happening on this planet right now. If you reject that, or because that's what my whole platform is based around. If you can't open yourself up to the possibilities of that, then ZaZa Ali and my teachings and my platforms are not for you. And I wish you the best. I hope that everything that you do that is of righteousness and goodness for whoever you do it for is successful. And for everybody else that's grieving right now and that's trying to understand this process, be still. Focus on your breathing. Think about the beautiful things that you have in your life and the beautiful people that you have in your life right now. And spend some time and some energy focusing on what you are becoming, who you are becoming, and what you are becoming. ZaZaAli.com is my website. Peace and love.